So on the first game we had PSG taking on Atalanta. We also what happened, PSG, Neymar had a brilliant game, Mbappe coming in.
Yeah.
Consider these guys were still missing out on guys like Di Maria, Verratti, and Atalanta were missing out on Ilicic. Do you feel like once you get Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, and Mauro Icardi, like, do you feel like these guys can go all the way? Because Mbappe and Neymar, man, walichafua.
Yeah, bro. I said this on the show on Saturday. I think on Friday, I said that I think PSG have the best forward line in football right now. I mean, no other team in the world can compare to them. I mean, Liverpool fans can throw in their Salah, Mane, Firmino. I mean, they're clutch and everything, but this team, PSG, what they have up front, can destroy anyone, and they just need to focus on building it a little bit tighter at the back.
Yes.
And they have. I mean, I hear they're trying to hijack the whole Thiago Alcantara deal. If they can hijack it, I mean, they'll definitely be the strongest team probably in Europe next season again. Yeah. However, speaking about the game, I think Atalanta was fantastic. I mean, they represented the underdog. They represented hope, expectation. They represented confidence, And I mean, I wouldn't blame them on anything. I just feel like they ran their course. They tried everything. Their manager brought nearly the whole team to try and just consolidate on the 1-0 lead that they had. But I mean, like typical European nights, quality prevailed over that night. So mad props to PSG and mad props to Atalanta. Yeah, I think they did the Champions League well.
Then we had Leipzig versus Atletico, masterclass, man, Nagelsmann, one of my favorite managers in Europe, versus Atletico Madrid. Of course, Diego Simeone, the master tactician. But this time around, he came out with an L. What do you think happened? Should Diego Simeone now start considering like moving clubs or leagues or changing tactics?
Not really. I think I'll blame Arsenal on this one. I think Thomas Partey's head turned, and he's been a very, very important aspect of how Diego Simeone plays, and they play through him. And I know there's rumors that he's injured, etc., etc. But I mean, in modern day football, I mean, you don't. I mean, if you're injured, you're not on the bench, bro. I mean, you're not on the bench, Mbappe was injured. Mbappe was the one that was sure was not going to play, and eventually he played because how clutch he is. So I think Arsenal were the ones that led to the downfall of Atletico Madrid. But yet again, I think Atletico Madrid need to invest in a striker because they need somebody that can play a little bit more dynamic, somebody that's a little bit faster, they can put the balls behind him, and probably he can chase and try and hold it. I hear Lacazette is in Atletico's radar. I think he's not the solution. I think they need an Aubameyang-esque kind of a player, if you know what I mean, like somebody that just can run behind defenders and try and bring in everybody into play, because I think Lacazette plays similarly to Diego Costa and Alvaro Morata. They're relatively slow, but good in control and great with the head, and probably needs 2 or 3 chances to score 1 goal. So they just need a perfect finisher, and then they'll be okay. Speaking about RB Leipzig, every day I look at RB Leipzig, I wonder how we let go of Angelino, at City. I know he doesn't fit
you like selling permanently or on loan?
No, he's out on loan, yeah?
Oh.
He's out on loan. So he's like probably the best left backs in the world when it comes to going forward. And defensively, he just needs a lot of help. And that's why I think Upamecano was brilliant on the night, And I think when Mukiele, if I remember, I think it's Mukiele, when he came in, he was able to further consolidate and just protect him a little bit more. So I'd say Julian Nagelsmann, 33 Champions League semi-final. It's a brilliant feat. It's no mean achievement, and I'm looking forward to him facing Thomas Tuchel. And I was reading somewhere that it's actually Thomas Tuchel that gave him his first internship opportunity. Nagelsmann was a bad player, so he couldn't get into his first team. So Thomas Tuchel turned him into a coach. So I want to see it's another apprentice teacher versus student kind of match. So it's gonna be a good one.
But going back to Atletico, do you feel like Diego masterminded his own downfall by keeping likes of Joao Felix out in the bench when Joao Felix need like Mbappe, guys who can come in and change the game, and they like operating on small spaces, and they are direct and they are quick and they know how to score. Keeping such a guy out, do you feel like that was a bad move?
Yeah. Not really, because let's be honest ourselves. I mean, Joao Felix has had his fair chance to prove himself to his manager this year, and he's been massively underwhelming, to be honest. I've been in the La Liga. We expected him to light it up. I mean, he came with a huge price tag, 120 odd million, and he's not been able to live up to that expectation. So I think it's his fault, but I mean, he's trying to find his feet first season in the La Liga rather. So I mean, he's just gonna find his feet, and probably he'll mature into a really, really good player for Diego Simeone. However, the person I'm really concerned about is the likes of people like Thomas Lemar. I mean, he came in with a huge amount of money, and he's not even able to play. I think he's played probably 15 games this year for Atleti, and Atleti are trying to move him out. So, I mean, he's the kind of player I'm really concerned about. So, yeah.
And Thomas Lemar, is it like Simeone who has been unable to use him well? Lemar as a player is just maybe not suited to La Liga or not suited to playing style of Atletico Madrid?
I mean, sometimes you probably don't know the ins and outs of how football clubs work and what happens behind the scenes. But every time Thomas Lemar has come into the game, he's looked shaky. He looked nonchalant, no confidence. So I blame him. Yeah, I mean, him at Monaco was brilliant, and I mean, but him moving out of Monaco, and he's just looked like a prime Victor Kimani or something, like Kevin Kimani, so just a random player who could do Kwamta, so yeah.
It's crazy. Then we had the big one. No one saw this one coming. Bayern annihilating Barcelona. Bro, I don't even know where to start with this one. Where would you want to start?
I'd say I knew it was coming. I mean, Bayern are definitely are still outrightly favorites to win the Champions League this year.
Yeah.
Because of the quality they have, especially going up front. And, I mean, their wing-backs. I think this is the biggest wing-back partnership in the world right now. I mean, Kimmich and Alfonso. I mean, madness, man. And then they have a lot of experience in David Alaba and Boateng at the back, so it's a little bit solid. But I think everybody's praising the attack, but I think I'd give so much props to their midfield.
Yeah.
I mean, their fulcrums in Thiago Alcantara and Leon Goretzka. I mean, those two guys are just brilliant. I mean, I now see why Bayern Munich had to play like underhand deals to try and get this guy off Schalke 04. I mean, he's a brilliant player. And then the ingenuity and the consistency of Thomas Muller, who I think should have won a Ballon d'Or at one time in his career. I mean, Mandem is just a beast, bro. I mean, and then, I mean, I was looking at that Bayern side, I was thinking, even Leroy Sané is not playing yet, man. I mean, think about adding Leroy Sané into this team. It becomes like a monster. Yeah. So, but I mean, Barcelona on the other side, they've been aging. They've had a really bad season in La Liga. But, we were all expecting that the pedigree of Messi will show up on this particular day. And, I mean, it was just one of those days where their frailties were exposed. Their average age for the whole team, I think, was 29. The likes of Busquets, Piqué, not Alaba. Yeah, it's not Alaba. What's the name of the left back?
Left back anaitwa Alaba.
Jordi Alba. Yeah, so the likes of Jordi Alba, all these guys are aging, and then they don't have Suarez. He's not the same. I mean, Messi is fallen out of favor. I really loved Frankie de Jong. I think he had a really good game. And then, I mean, a lot is put into question when it comes to the transfer dealings. I mean, Arturo is 23, and they're selling him to get a 30-year-old Pjanic. It doesn't make sense. Those are the things sometimes you look at and you're like, okay, now they're trying to buy Garcia from City. That's not an immediate solution because Garcia still has a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And I think they're still trying to find a balance between, how do we break bank and get quality, not just quantity, because I think that's one of the biggest issues they've had. So I'd say all in all, Barca. Definitely because of the quality of La Liga, they'll probably finish third next year. But I mean, Barca have a lot of work to do, and then I'm looking forward to obviously seeing Coutinho in the Premier League. If Arsenal can get this deal all over the line and just snatch him out of Barca's land,
I am praying that.
And I mean, I think it's gonna be quality. Yeah, so yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing, and of course, if you look at how Messi, like how Barcelona has been going on lately, there's a lot of boardroom wrangles.
Yeah.
Is like you said, their recruitment is wanting. You know, guys buying guys
and,
like Marco,
and Leo, just to cut you short, and Leo is a huge politician now.
Yeah,
you know, Leo is probably the assistant president of that club. So I think they need to send him off first. I think Messi is one of the biggest problems at Barcelona now. They need to relegate Messi and probably just sell him out for 40 or 50 odd million and then start it all over again and look for a new star.
Okay, maybe selling him for 50 might be a hard ask, but I mean, clearly he's not helping them, you know, because every time they're trying to recruit someone, maybe he has to give his green light, and he has been doing so for the last, I don't know how many years. And look where that got them.
Yeah, he's become cocky. I mean, he's become poisonous to the team. So I think Messi is definitely a must go.
Yeah, maybe move on now or something. I mean, after a new challenge elsewhere. Then we had you guys playing against Olympic.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Bro, first things first, and I said this on the show on Saturday. Pep has never beaten Olympic Lyon. Funny story.
Oh,
with City.
You drew 2-2 at home and then
2-1. We lost 2-1. Yeah. I mean, Lyon was phenomenal, man. I mean, that night it was special. Yeah, I know Pep tinkered with his formation a little bit, trying to accommodate how Lyon were going to play. I think he was trying to be a little bit too smart. He overthought it, and I understand. From a manager's perspective, you want to be very, 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 very prepared every time. But yet again, and I don't want to sound salty, but I think UEFA knew this was coming. It was either to come today, or rather it was to come on that day, or another day probably in the final, and that paid a little bit more. That Dembele first goal was a clear foul on Aymeric Laporte. Like, it was a clear foul, man. And then, we've been fighting the Premier League when it comes to VAR, and it's because they show us everything. And you see now for UEFA, they don't show you anything. They leave a lot of questions, and it leaves a lot of bad taste in the mouth, to be honest. So I thought we tried, we played our best, and we leave the fight another day. And all this rubbish that, Pep has spent this, Pep has done this, I've done this. Or I think it's just he's the only manager in the world that gets judged for what's it called?
He has made
on different parameters. No, not purchases. I mean, Alex Ferguson broke bank 7 times, and nobody's talking about it. Yeah, in his long year spell at United, I think he made 3 finals, won twice, if I'm not wrong. Arsenal have been in the Champions League for 25 years, made 1 final. Juventus have not won a Champions League for 24 years. Chelsea might not even win it since 2002, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen again. So it's only Pep that gets heavily criticized.
It's crazy, but let me ask you: do you think like it was a misdoing of Pep to not start likes of Silva, the Bernardo Silva, David Silva?
But Bernardo has been on the decline this year. I mean, Pep has not been able to really. Yeah, we've not been able to really find a good position for him. You see, Bernardo plays really well with Aguero. He plays just off Aguero's shoulders. And Aguero's not been there for us this year, so we need to rediscover him. And Mahrez has been phenomenal. And we've moved from the traditional 4-5-1 kind of formation to what we do now is more like a 4-3-3. So Bernardo doesn't really fit in because he doesn't have the pace that Riyad Mahrez. I mean, Mahrez came into that game and changed everything.
He did not start.
Yeah, and you see, I understand from a coach's perspective, he wanted a little bit more solidity because he expected that Dembele is going to start that game. So he needed Fernandinho to stop OR and then somebody to work on Dembele. So he did work on Fernandinho because he got fouled. He got booked really early because OR was quicker than him. And I think that's why we are trying to go for Harry Winks. Because I think Winksy is gonna be very important in how we're gonna play next year. Because he's gonna be able to deputize the likes of, because Gundogan is also knocking on a little bit when it comes to his age. So
But Harry Winks, bro, you in Manchester City, you have the money. Go buy someone like Aouar from Lyon. I think you've already seen what he can do.
But we don't need an Aouar, because you see, Aouar brings competition to Kevin De Bruyne. Our team is around Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. We don't
Why is he
need
partner up in the
Aouar.
middle?
See, him and Foden are going to. That's our midfield next year,
Itakuwa Foden, KDB, and who?
and probably Rodri.
Oh, Rodri. Oh, yeah. Aouar is going to limit Nani's game time, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be challenging Kevin De Bruyne, and De Bruyne doesn't need that now. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't for sure.